Okay, we started a little late just because of some technical difficulties. Today is just going to be a review session of Moodle and then a preparation for like the first quiz. It's not really a quiz, it'll just be like a mini checkpoint basically to see if you guys are learning at a good pace and out of all the things we've learned. So first of all, I want to go over Moodle quickly. And again, you should be logging into Moodle at least once a week, I think. I think that's fair. Would you say that's fair? Have you been doing that? How often do you check?
Probably once every month.
Once a month? Okay, so I mean each month we have a class every Saturday, so that's at least 4 hymns a month that you have to try to remember. Versus 1 hymn a week, I think it's easier.
Yes, I can do it. I guess I can do it.
I think if you guys
two times a month.
2 times a month is probably better than once. That's a realistic goal, I think. So I think the reason I'm bringing it up is because the class is only going to help you so much. The real purpose of this is that you use the resources, all this stuff, as much as you can. And something I wanted to point out is like we have everything posted right away. So it's not like you have to wait to practice something. Just give me a chance for last week's stuff. I have to post it because it was 2 hymns, so it took me a while. But the importance that I wanted to talk about is everything we've learned so far and all the seasons we've learned. So we've basically covered everything in Liturgy of the Word. So we worship the Father, Hymn of the Censer, Trisagion. Then this gets into Lent, but basically for the for each season. So annual, like stuff we haven't really gone over is the annual praxis response, but that's easy because you learned the notes for the Lent praxis response.
Like the same notes but different.
Exactly, same notes, different words, and I would say a little easier. So then that's everything we covered for annual, and then for the Great Fast for Lent we covered like 4 or 5 hymns, 4 hymns, 1, 2, 3. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because from the time that the new format started with Moodle until now, we've covered almost every basic hymn for every season. So that like next year we'll start adding newer hymns and maybe more advanced hymns depending on how much people start coming and learning more. So the goal for today was to just pick a hymn like as an example and show you how to like practice it, so that like let's say if I said by next week I want you to sing by yourself, like let's say by next week I wanted you to sing the Hymn of the Censer by yourself, okay? Let's as an example. So I would say, so Saturday, instead of me teaching you,
we give the class?
Not give the class, but like we'll take like half the class to just like, let's say I just pulled this up. Would you be able to sing it? Oh, this is the Hymn of the Censer for Lent. I thought it was the annual. Sorry. This one. Fine, since that's the first one we learned. Oh, there's no one. Okay. Let's say I open, we worship the Father of Light. Okay? It's easy, I know you've done it.
It's my favorite one.
Okay, and it's like, if you think about it, again, we went over it because you sing it every annual liturgy. So non-fast or non-feast.
We sing O King of Peace.
For the feast, we sing O King of Peace, yeah. But like every annual at the start, before, like when Abuna is blessing the tunics, would you be able to start this? If I like gave you the whole week to practice it?
Someone sing.
So let's say it's not a lot of people here today because people are out and whatever. So like let's say it was you, Ben, and everyone that's been attending regularly. I think if I pulled this up, you guys would know it.
Yeah.
So the example that I'm using is like, let's say we do that for all the hymns we've covered. How many of the ones we've covered do you think you need more help with, or how many do you think you know like this one? Because I know if I start this, you know it.
Yeah.
So like that's the example. So that's the goal of today, was to just look through the list of everything that's been
Can you
posted.
do it?
Hold on. The goal of today was to just look at the list of everything that's been posted. And like, let's say, like, I know for like this month for the resurrection, it's kind of new, so you won't know it as well.
Christ is risen. The one that, not the one that we did last week, but the one before.
The long one, yeah.
That's
It's easier
it's easier.
because it's like an easier tune, which is what I was saying. So that's an example. But like, let's say for everything in Lent, even in the Great Fast, you should know it. And we had a review, we posted the review.
It was like a recording of you singing all.
There was a recording of us singing all of it. So the goal was that we go through the list of everything, and then, since like we can kind of say like this is almost like a whole year's worth, like since you started school almost, you also started this class, or like since we started the new system, which was in like, I want to say like October or September. So that's a lot of time. And then before we move forward with any other hymns, I want to make sure that you can retain everything that we've done. You can remember it. And that's for everybody. Anyone that joins later, like the same thing will have to happen. So we can use this as an example, like we said, if I just open this. Okay. So I'm not going to point. That's the other thing. Because if you need help with the pointing, then you use the self-practice video. So let's say I just did, we worship
the Father.
Good. I think you know it.
I memorized the notes.
You memorized the notes? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you read them though?
No, okay. I don't read the notes. I just look
So the notes help you with the tune. They like help you get the tune faster.
This one, I just like to sing it.
So kind of what I've been emphasizing in other classes. Don't rely on just hearing it. You have to actually pay attention to like the pointing and repeating it. You have to go back and practice it.
Like every time I go to hymns class, like in the car, I usually only just sing this one, so I got it. So
exactly. So you just proved my point. You've been repeating it. So that's how you learn everything. So the only way that you can learn everything else is by repeating it.
Uh-huh.
And like the way we set it up is we went over the stuff that we'll repeat the most. That's what I was trying to teach people. So like these first 4 classes were all annual hymns. Annual meaning we sing them probably the most Sundays out of the year, or the most weekdays or whatever. But the other stuff is just so that we can learn the hymns of that season. And there's so many other things that we haven't been able to go over because there's just not enough time, and there's like more hymns in different seasons. But at least the goal that I wanted to give everyone is maybe 1 or 2 hymns of the annual season, you try to sing it by yourself. And then maybe 1 hymn of the Lent, you sing it by yourself. And 1 hymn of the Resurrection, you sing it by yourself. So of all the, like, look how many we've done. 1, 2, 3, 4,
so for instance,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So if I choose, I cannot choose we worship the Father of Light because I know it so much.
You can, like I'm saying, by now you should probably know all of the annual hymns because we sang them after we learn them. We sing them every week.
So even if it's easy or hard, we should.
It's okay. Like if it's harder, it's okay because you'll have more chances to learn it. But the reason I'm focusing on the other seasons is because you only sing those hymns once a year, like the hymns of the Great Fast, you only sing during the Great Fast. The hymns of Resurrection, you only sing during Resurrection and the Holy 50 Days. But annual hymns, you can sing every Sunday once it's back to annual. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but don't we fast more than...
We fast a lot of the days of the year, but it's not always the same tune.
So we can fast and then it still be the annual tune?
Yeah, or it'll be a different tune, like ones that we haven't gone over. Like we didn't go over any of the stuff for Kiah, or the Nativity fast. And then the Apostles fast, there's stuff coming up. So there's so many different ones, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the goal, since we're like so far into this like class, is that by now you have to be comfortable with Moodle. So I wanted to take time making sure everybody was comfortable with Moodle. I know you're comfortable with it because you use it. So all I'm going to tell you today is you have to use it more. Like, let's say you learned a hymn that same week, pick one day where you just go back and listen to the self-practice video. It doesn't have to be the class recording unless you need help with something. Because like, for example, like if we look at the sensor. I know you like this sensor. Look how long the practice video is. It's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking you to do.
So is this from?
This is the one posted.
Coptic hymns.
Yeah, that's all the self-practice videos are using Coptic hymns in English. So that's the point I'm making. You get what I'm saying? Let's say for one day a week, you just listen to 2 minutes. Is that hard?
No.
It's not hard. And if you did it, it would pay off. Because like you said, you kept practicing. We worship the Father of Light almost every week.
I use the notes.
And then you practiced with the notes. With no help. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's the goal. Otherwise, we're doing this for no reason. Like, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it so that you guys can learn it. If nobody was here, would you be able to sing the hymns by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So we all need to learn it together. That's the point. Okay?
Okay.
The other thing that I wanted to quiz you guys on is the other portion of what we've been talking about.
What portion?
Not just how to sing the hymn, but when we sing it. So like the example that I was going to use is like, let's say, as an example, let's say I opened Coptic Reader and I said, okay, hold on. Hymn of the Resurrection. Click for me out of these four, when do we sing it? In which of these four do we sing the hymn of, like I'll give you another example. When do we sing the We Worship the Father of Light?
Offering of the Lamb.
Okay.
And we sing it.
Okay, good. We sing Hymn of the Resurrection and Liturgy of the Word. When do we sing it? Before or after the
Acts?
The Acts, exactly.
After the Acts.
After the Acts. So that's what I was going to show you. So it'll help you become more comfortable with how the liturgy is set up and how the hymn is supposed to be sung.
So like when you, how about, so would it work that like when that recording, like that test, I'd be like, I choose a certain hymn, and then before I even start, I say, this hymn is sung in the liturgy of the Word.
When I quiz you, I'll ask you, what hymn did you pick? You'll tell me I chose Hymn of the Censer. And I'll say, okay, when do you sing it? And you'll say,
Liturgy of the Word.
Liturgy of the Word.
First thing.
It's the first hymn, yeah, the Liturgy of the Word. Exactly. Very good. You get it?
Yeah.
It's not hard. And then I'll sing, and then I'll say, okay, how does it start, for example? Maybe I'll ask you to sing the whole thing. Maybe I'll ask you to sing some of it.
Can you, like, if we're going to sing all of it, can you start us off, like, a very short start?
I can try to help you, yeah. So, censer,
a pure gold, bury in thee aroma is it in the hands of heaven.
You get it?
Yeah, but could you, like, so if we're on a computer and you need the pointing, could you volume on 0?
Yeah, look,
and you
that's
have
what
it on the self-practice.
That's what I do.
Pointed.
If I think so, the reason we post all four, so like let's say you click the lesson. The full lesson shows you exactly how we took the time to learn it, so you can hear, okay, the teacher made us do this section this many times, and we got tripped up at this section, so we had to redo it, okay? The self-practice is if you think you got it, but you need something to guide you, so it points. So you
Without singing?
No, you would sing with it, but you don't want to mute the volume in that case. Here, in this case, for the PowerPoint, you can. So if you look at the Sorry, let me open it this way. Like if I open for you this one, annual, image of the sensor, the PowerPoint. That's weird, right? Okay, let's say I opened it.
So PowerPoint has voice in it.
It has audio in it, but that's an example where you can mute it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because I put the audio in the PowerPoint here, you see it?
Now I know.
But you don't need to use it. Look. So I can mute it, look. Now if there's no audio, you can just sing it by yourself.
Oh, so this can be used also for a starter. Like it starts you off.
This one just has no pointing. That's why I'm showing it to you.
Why is this purple?
It's from that. Sorry. This one, the reason it's important is because it has audio without pointing. So maybe you're getting it, but you need someone to guide you. So then there's audio.
Okay.
And then the last source, which I've been trying to tell you guys, is just the notes. And that's what I use because I've practiced it so many times. Okay? That's the whole point. That's why we do this. It's not just to say, okay, here's another hymn. Here's another hymn. Here's another hymn. Like, we're not trying to go through hundreds of hymns and not remember anything and not remember why we say it and when we say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is important, okay?
Okay.
So that's all that we wanted to cover today. I'm sorry that it was kind of late and messed up. It'll be fixed by next week, okay? Good?
Oh.
All right.